You've got it tuned to KEXP. We're listener-powered radio at 90.3 FM in Seattle, streaming worldwide at kexp.org. And we appreciate our listeners so much for supporting great sessions like the one you are just about to hear with a KEXP beloved band at Sylvan Esso. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
I have to say, my mind was blown. I saw the first of 3 nights that you just played at Climate Pledge Arena, and that's a pretty new arena for us, and it was my first show there. And boy, I'll always remember that. How did that feel?
Big.
Massive.
But really fun.
I love that you said earlier, it was really clean.
It's the cleanest venue I've ever been in.
Well, it's brand spanking new, and I can't wait to hear some of the songs I just heard you perform at Climate Pledge Arena. It's Sylvan Esso live on KEXP. Take it away.
My favorite way to ruin me, to eat the sweet right when I see it, and never stop to feel cool breeze. It comes to me naturally. Sunburn, when you move it stings, and your eyelids swell to pink. But you loved it so much, oh how could you stop drifting? Sunburn, blistering, the heat under your skin. Oh, but it felt so good, so why wouldn't you keep on taking? I love the ocean, I love the air, I love the feeling that I get out there. I love to drive as fast as I can to be with them. I love the floating, I love the tide, undertow, pull me, make me feel alive. Let me feel the drag as you kick and fight to stay on the beach side. Sunburn, when you move it stings, and your eyelids swell to pink. But you loved it so much, oh how could you stop drifting? Sunburn, blistering, the heat under your skin. Oh, but it felt so good, so why wouldn't you keep on taking? Take it away, Sandy. My favorite way to ruin me, to eat the sweet right when I see it, and never stop to think or breathe. It comes to me naturally. Sunburn, when you move it stings, and your eyelids swell to pink. But you loved it so much, oh how could you stop drifting? Sunburn, blistering, the heat under your skin. Oh, but it feels so good, so why wouldn't you keep on taking? Sunburn, blistering, the heat under your skin. Oh, but it feels so good, so why wouldn't you keep on taking? I thought you were good and old, but I didn't hold you in my mind. I was busy playing shows, you were busy wasting your time. But I kept on wanting to call, you kept picking up, acting like I knew it all, like I was writing a book. Hey, hey. I didn't care, and I couldn't feel it here. I didn't know when I can get the shivers, it would hit me like a train. But I'd be happy when I saw you, when I heard your name. Wouldn't you like to know how the story ends? But then again, I didn't give it up. Couldn't feel it. Didn't know when I met you how it would go. And now everyone can see us. And now everyone knows as if they were looking. So why would they do it is I and didn't care, and I couldn't feel it yet. I didn't know when I met you how it would. I didn't care, and I couldn't feel it yet. I didn't know when I met you how it would go. Oh yeah, when I met you how it would go. I don't wanna cross the ocean. I don't wanna cross the sea. Never wanted your devotion. Yeah, all I really need is for you to look at me, 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 look at me now. And then in the palm of your eye I'll be. There's no better place to live or breathe, because all I want, yeah, you know me, is to be seen, to be seen, to be seen. Out in the street, you're in the spotlight, baby. Out in the street, you're in the spotlight, baby. Look at me, 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 look at me now. Yeah. It's a jump to rise, lift off right now. Don't know how to swim in the air, come on, I'll teach you how. It's a step inside the status cloud. Don't know how to walk in the sky, come on, I'll teach you how. Let me help it, let me fight, let me remember how to live my life. Were the rules originally yours? It's a jump to rise, lift off right now. Don't know how to swim in the air, come on, I'll teach you how. It's a step inside the stratus cloud. Don't know how to walk in the sky, come on, I'll teach you how. Let me build it, watch me fight. Let me remember how to live my life. Were the rules originally? Are we learning how to be? Let me build it, watch me try. Let me make it up this time. Were the rules originally? Are we learning how to be? Surreal but free. It's your reality. It's your reality. Surreal but free. It's your reality. It's your reality.
Ah, that's wonderful. Sylvan Esso live on KEXP, performing songs from their new album, No Rules, Sandy. Nick, is that sort of a mantra for yourself for the making of the record?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I think it was a reminder to us both. You know, something that Amelia wrote as a backup vocal part, and I didn't hear it until she recorded it, and it kind of just, it was, we realized after the fact that it was kind of the guiding principle to the entire thing, you know, just kind of letting go.
Yeah, we took a road trip on the 1st of January of this year and got to LA, and there was another COVID spike, of course, so all of our plans got canceled. And we started beginning every day by just seeing if we could write a song that day, and they kept on coming. So this record came together faster than we have ever made a record before. So there's a lot more, we say a lot of wild stuff in it, mostly because we were just on a creative high.
I read somewhere that that song you just performed, Your Reality, the vocal line in that song was kind of a jumping off point for the new record. And those strings are beautiful, by the way.
Thank you. Our friend Gabriel Kahane arranged them for us. Yeah, I wrote a backup part, mostly as a joke. And then our friend Jen Wassner, who's in Flock of Dimes, was like, that's the name of the record when we played it for her. And
Yeah.
you know, it's hard to not do something when Jen tells you to do it.
Well, I did an in-studio session during COVID remotely with Jen for Flock of Dimes, and we spent half the session talking about you. And that's why she loves living where she lives and how much time she spent at Betty's. Can you tell me a little bit about the studio that you've built there? So many artists have mentioned it. Indigo de Souza, Superchunk. I know that you've created a home, which that must feel great because, Amelia, I read that you moved to Chapel Hill initially before Merge Records, and then to have this great relationship with the band Superchunk.
Oh yeah, I actually didn't move for Merge Records.
You shouldn't believe everything you read.
Yeah, no, I moved because Nick and I had just started Sylvan Esso, and then I ended up completely getting entrenched there. But I do love being friends with Mac and everybody at Merge. They're such an inspiration for us. It's like true indie rock elders.
Well, and they also just laid the groundwork. You know, I think that's a thing, especially when we talk about musical community, that feels so rich in the Triangle and North Carolina in general. It's just that there's so many people who came before us who have paved the way and showed you how something could happen. Mm-hmm. Even if the main thing that they show you is that you can do anything you want.
Indeed. And that's kind of what we wanted to do with Betty's, where we wanted to create a place where anyone could come and just feel like they're supported and given permission to make the work that they want to make.
Yeah, just making a place that felt like... It's so interesting to try to design a physical space so that it fosters creativity and community, and it's been kind of like a really unique challenge.
100%.
But it's cool. It's like it's finally, we're a couple of years into it now, and it's really kind of becoming its own character.
Indeed.
Now. I mean,
Yeah.
thanks a lot to people like Jen, who's there all the time. You know,
Yeah.
it's just a really special place. You know, feels like nowhere else.
And it's more than just a studio where people can record. Can you kind of describe? It's sort of like going to camp. It sounds like. I haven't been there. I want to sign up. I need to learn to play an instrument first, I guess, write a few songs.
You don't have to learn how to play an instrument. You can just come. It's on 10.5 acres. It totally is kind of a summer campy vibe. You can sleep there if you know us.
Yeah, it's just, we wanted to make something that felt like a nest, you know, that felt like insular and isolated without being isolating.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a tough line to walk, you know?
Yeah, and I wanted to build a studio that was full of light because so many studios are little bat caves. And
Yeah,
I love being a bat, but I wanted some place where plants could live.
Yeah, the whole thing was kind of just like, what do we wish every studio we'd ever been felt like? And then that answered all the questions that we had, you know?
Well, you built, it sounds like, a little studio when you went out to California at the beginning of the year and wrote these songs, but then you went back home to record them. And it sounds like it's sort of a beginning of a new Sylvan Esso era. Can you unpack that a little bit? You've talked about that in interviews, and I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I think for a while, we created Sylvan Esso as kind of a strange art project that was like a little cardboard cutout of a pop band to be like, what would it be like if we made a pop band? Wouldn't that be interesting? And then it was quite successful to a degree. And because of that, we got kind of, there's a part of this new record that feels like we're coming back to like experimentation and exploration instead of like just reaching for the beautiful form of the pop song. I wanted, as a songwriter, I wanted to come back to making songs that don't make any sense, or that like don't have a bridge, or that are all bridge. That was my dream.
I mean, I think also like I think we said the thing we wanted to say when we started out with those first 3 records. And when we were making this, we were truly just making it for each other. You know, that we weren't really thinking about an audience, though we were incredibly grateful to have the audience that we have. It was like we finally got back to the place that we kind of were when we started the band, which was just like us trying to impress each other and surprise each other and make each other laugh, you know?
Mm-hmm. Jokes.
I love that. Well, the end result is that you've impressed and surprised us as well. And No Real Sandy, absolutely beautiful, coming out, on August 12th. And so excited for the listeners to hear the full thing. Thank you for sharing 4 great songs with us today. And we're celebrating our 50th anniversary this year for KEXP. It's incredible. And we're so happy to have spent so many years turning people on to great music and championing music and discovery. And that's sort of been our mission from, or not sort of, it has absolutely been our mission very clearly from the beginning. I remember so clearly when we had you in studio way back in 2014 for the first record.
Studio.
Yeah, people still request songs from that session. And people request songs from your first album all the time. It must feel so great to know that music that you made has a lasting power. People aren't just looking at the new stuff only. They're looking forward and anticipating what you're going to do next, but they're listening to your whole catalog. And I have to think that radio stations like KEXP have to be so important for an independent band getting played on independent radio. What role has radio played for you as a band over the years?
I mean, in so many ways, radio is the gatekeeper into people's homes and into people's kitchens. I think that the support of independent radio stations such as KEXP has really been the thing that's lifted us and made it possible for us to play the large shows that we get to play when we're here.
No question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't even imagine what this band would look like if we hadn't had that.
No, yeah, because of the support of independent radio, I think we were given a career. So there's really no way to say how much of an impact y'all have had on us.
Well, and also just like beyond us, I think the biggest thing about independent radio is that it doesn't really function in the way that, you know, major commercial radio does. There's so many, you know, there's obviously DJs here picking the music, but they're literally picking the things that they're excited about and trying to champion new things, which is not the case in different kinds of radio. And it just feels like the doors that are closed for most artists at those other types of radio stations don't exist here. And
Indeed.
like what greater function can you provide in a music scene than that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I love that it's a symbiotic relationship, too, between us and the artists, and we feel so honored to present your music and share it with our listeners. And thank you for coming in and sharing this music live today.
Oh my
Thank
gosh.
you so
Thanks
much.
for having us back, and also thanks for letting us come into the new studio.
Yeah,
This is so
wow.
cool.
Hey,
It's
this
so
place
pretty.
is nice looking.
It is. I hope you brought your laundry. And thank you to our listeners. We are so appreciative of all the support that we get from our donors. You can find out more about us at kexp.org and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can discover so many great bands here on KEXP, like Sylvan Esso. Thank you for joining us. It's Sylvan Esso Live on KEXP.
Discover new music at listener-powered KEXP.org.